Hi everybody, review time. Hi, it's great to have you back. So as promised, now that I've used my new lathe, I'm going to do a review on it, and I'm going to be freestyling, so forgive any videography faux pas, but straight off the bat I want to say this is not a paid review. Axminster haven't paid me or given me the machine. You know, we've paid for this, every penny out of our own pocket. It's, you know, what I'd considered one of my dream purchases for the workshop, and I was able to purchase it 2 days ago. With it being Monday now, I bought it on Saturday morning. So we're going to get the camera off the tripod, and I'm going to start explaining everything that comes with it and the assembly and just how I found it. So hopefully I'm going to get into some good depth, and it will be informative and entertaining. We'll have a giggle. Alrighty, here it is. It's the Axminster AT1416VS. So it's one of the trade series lathes, 14-inch swing over the bed and 16-inch between centres. I think the weight of it is about 50 kilos, so just take care when you're unboxing it. You know, it's not the world's heaviest piece of equipment, but it's heavy enough to catch you unawares if you just, you know, if you're rushing into it. So it's a reasonable amount of weight. So anyway, when you unbox it, you'll find that there's a couple of things that need to be screwed onto the lathe, these being the digital readout here, the inverter module round the back, which I'll show you in a second, and they're the things that really need to be bolted on. Oh, and the handles, the carry handles. Mine already had the loops around the back for wrapping the cord, so that was one less job. So it took me considerably longer than it'd take you guys that can see. So I reckon you could probably get it all set up and things screwed on in about half an hour. So it took me a lot longer than that. I didn't time myself, but it was a lot longer. Anyway, things that you get out of the box and that come with the lathe standard, from left to right, you've got obviously all your manuals here and technical charts, and it comes with a CD-ROM, and that has the PDF files on it for setting the parameters on the inverter module. So, you know, obviously it's programmable, and you know, you can, as it says, set parameters, so, you know, upper and lower values to help get the best out of it. I'm not going to mess with it. All I need to do is use the variable speed and the other functions on the remote control, so I'm not going to bother with that. You get a revolving live centre, a 4-prong drive. It comes with a nice chunky 75mm faceplate that has the grub screws on it, so you can tighten it to the spindle securely. Knockout bar, a couple of Allen keys, and a big wrench again for the faceplate. Now, additional purchases I got on the day were a screw chuck and a SK100 chuck and jaws. So that's what I bought. I didn't just want to be working off a faceplate, because I'm used to working with a chuck and a worm screw. So it's solidly made, like I say, heavy, and it's got a M33 by 3.5 spindle, so it's a nice chunky spindle. It has an indexing facility. Now, the top cover here is just held in place by a hex nut, and then I've just knocked everything off. And then in here you have got the pulleys. There's 3 pulleys there, and there's numbers on the end to help with the indexing. So the indexing, I'll just close that so I don't lose the screw. The indexing is done by this magnetic pin that's provided, and then it goes in this hole here, and then when it's seated into one of the indexing holes it will lock the spindle off, and then obviously you can do indexing work for more intricate stuff and clocks and things like that. So yeah, it's magnetic, it's a strong magnet on there, so you just keep it attached to the headstock so you don't lose it. The digital readout, that's attached to the access door for altering your belts, so you have to attach the door as well, but that was just 2 screws. So obviously in there you get access for changing the belt ratios. It's a nice long smooth operating quill. It's probably about 3 inches of travel, even though I haven't measured it yet. And down here you've got the typical slacking off this handle here, and then using this lever you can raise the motor up, which slackens off the belt, and then you can change the ratios. Now this is the magnetic remote control, and it has start and stop, it has forward and reverse, and that's your speed control. So that's great that it can be mounted anywhere on the lathe, so it's always accessible. Good safety feature as well. You know, if you need to hit the emergency stop quickly, it can be right next to you, so that's very good. I'm just going to pop round the other side now, and then we can have a look at the inverter module. Okay, here we are now at the inverter module. So basically I can feel that it's got a couple of buttons on, and it's also got this controller here. So I don't know what they do. Maybe that's a speed controller, I don't know, I haven't read. Obviously anyone that purchases this lathe and they want to get into all of that, obviously refer to the manual and the PDF CD-ROM. But obviously there's probably quite a lot of versatility available to the user, but I'm not going to. And Nicola said it's got a readout on here too. So yeah, if that's going to be your bag, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of tinkering that can be done there. Again, that's the hatch there. Now, with it being a trade lathe, it can be used for quite prolonged periods of work. It's got a powerful motor, and I might be wrong, but I think it's probably about a 1 horsepower motor. Got plenty of grunt. I was really pleased with the amount of torque that it had compared to my 1218VS. You know, it's definitely got some good power, and the engine and the motor shouldn't bog down and stall really. Not for what I want to do with it. So I'll just go back around the other side now. And I'll just clear the bed off, and I'll be back in a sec. We've got the lathe here now turned on, so hopefully you can see that the LED is lit up. So what I'm going to do now is press the start button and then turn the lathe on. So hopefully you can see the display changing now, so I have no idea what it's on, but obviously that lets you know what RPM you're running. So there you go, it's just, that's at its slowest on this pulley. So obviously with the inverter technology, it's always providing maximum torque, you know, for what speed you've selected, so it's always assisting you that way, and it should prevent, you know, engines and motors stalling and bogging down. So we'll just stop that now, and then obviously the spindle's going forward towards you. If we stop that now, and you can set it in reverse, and it'll go the other way. So obviously great if you want to use the reverse function for whatever, sanding and things like that. So we'll just stop that. So that's pretty much the controller itself, simple. The banjo and tool rest, they're really nice in operation, very smooth, nice and chunky, decent weight to them, should be solid. Again, the tailstock slides very nicely straight out the box, and what I'll do is in a moment I will put the drive centre and the live centre in, and just show you how they align straight out the box. And I've just slid the tailstock up to the drive, and they feel fine to me. They've met up nicely. And obviously, because this headstock doesn't swivel, you know, I shouldn't have to check alignment. It should just always be true. So just slide that back out of the way. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it on. It's running in the forwards direction, so I'm just going to turn it up now to full speed, so you can hear that it's very quiet, just a nice little hum. And if I just, and hopefully you can see the readout there, and that's pretty much on full speed, but very smooth, very quiet, absolutely fantastic. And if I just press the start button now, it's got a soft start as well, so it doesn't just race straight onto the maximum RPM you've got selected. It builds up softly, so that's good for reliability. Obviously it's not just banging straight into full chat. So that's basically it really. I mean, you can get obviously longer tool rests, and you can get bed extensions to increase the capacity if you wanted to do table legs and baseball bats and things like that. So absolutely over the moon with it. So I think at Axminster, I think this was £858. Is it worth it? I would say so. It's an absolutely superb lathe. Oh yeah, you can also get the legs for it if you wanted it to be floor mounted, but I didn't want the legs. So yes, I think it's worth the money. Very happy with it, and it inspired a lot of confidence this morning when I used it for the first time, to have that extra torque in the motor. I could already straight away feel that the cuts off the tool were better, they were easier, and obviously I will be able to now progress that bit further and do larger capacity bowls and start doing more hollowing out, and not be as wary of catches and things like that, because it didn't really have the grunt. So absolutely fantastic. I love it to bits so far, and if anything to go by the rest of the Axminster stuff that I own, I'm going to have no problems with it. It's definitely worth every penny in my book. So if you're considering a new lathe in this sort of like price range, it's well worth considering. It's aimed at people that do serious demos, teaching, and with it being a trade machine, if you want a certain spec of lathe that will handle the quantity of work you need to do to make a business, this is well worth considering if you've not got loads of room but you want something that can generate some good income for you. So chuffed to bits with it. I'm going to have a lot of fun working on it and filming the stuff I do on it. So here's to the future, and I shall catch you all very soon in the next video. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.